Hi, I'm Scott. I'm a digital designer here at Hasbro. I do a lot of work for Hasbro Pulse. So I get a lot of assignments here at Hasbro, and when this one came along for a social post for the Cosmic Ghost Rider box, I thought it would be amazing to show you a little bit of behind the scenes here and how you can do toy photography like this at home. My kids don't think I have a real job. So in this Behind the Build segment, we wanted to show how you can do some of the things we do here at Hasbro. Shooting in front of a screen, using special lighting effects with the different materials that are used, the transparent and translucent materials that are used to make these figures, and then how afterwards you can add digital effects with a computer in post. So to do this type of toy photography, I use a fancy camera with a nice lens. You can use a smartphone because the cameras on those things are awesome. We use big panel lights and some small LED cubes. You can buy really cheap lights anywhere, and I know a lot of people use those. They fit in small places, they give you really tight beams, they're awesome. I would invest in a good tripod because you can set up the shot, set up the camera, and it's reliable. You're always going to get the same angle. Obviously, you need a monitor. You can use a computer monitor or TV to stream something from your computer. And lastly, you'll need some photo editing software. There's lots of options for that out there. So for this shot, I used a 60mm lens. It's got a 2.8 aperture all the way up to a 32. And I used the 32, so you need a longer shoot time, up to 6 seconds for some of these lighting effects. I like these long shoot times in a dark room because the light really rides along these edges and finds these nooks and crannies, and your color gets really saturated, and your blacks are nice and rich. And so I love shooting in a dark room with really sort of minimal lighting and then going in and compositing all these separate images together. So when I'm shooting in front of a screen, one of the things I do is I light from the sides. When you do that, I use a lot of gels to create atmosphere and create a lot of awesome color combinations. You get really rich, deep colors. But sometimes you're gonna get rogue reflections anyways. And so a lot of times I think it's helpful when you're finished to take away the lighting, to take away the figure, and to just get a plate of the background all alone so that you can use that as a background later behind your photo. So it's really important if you think you're going to be compositing images in post to not move the camera and not move the figure. You can move lights around, but if you move either of those things, you're going to have to start all over again. And that's no fun. I've been there. A lot of times I composite images because they just don't have enough light to go around, or you want a special effect on one part of the figure. So I isolated 2 parts of the bike to use for compositing. The first part was the front orb of energy. This is this huge blue orb that has lightning crackles in it. And so for that, I placed a light directly behind it, and I did about a 6-second exposure on that. And then I also focused on the dome that holds the flaming skull. It's an awesome sculpt in there, and I really wanted to pick out every detail. And so I wanted to make sure that I was lighting it just right. That's where you can feel free to move lights around. And then when you go to your photo editing software, you can composite those images, create masks, use special effects, and just layer these things until you end up with an image that you're happy about. So in this segment, we looked at shooting in front of a screen, how to light from the side and create awesome lighting effects in camera, and then how to go in and post and edit your images. So now it's your turn. Go out there and learn, make mistakes, make awesome new images. Have fun playing with your toys. We can't wait to see what you create.